The sky of Mexico State, as vast as usual. The desert at night seems to be able to swallow people whole. However, in that fateful July, a mysterious fall quietly broke the tranquility of this desolate land. Until today, the name is Roswell. It is still an unsolved mystery that all humanity cannot avoid. The mystery is in the official version. It was just an accident involving a weather balloon. But if things were really so simple, why have several decades passed? But this incident just keeps getting bigger and bigger. The more it's passed on, the more bizarre it becomes. Thousands of people firmly believe in it. What fell to the desert that night wasn't a balloon, but it's a spaceship from outside the galaxy. The story begins with the recollection of an ordinary officer. It is said that he was ordered to go and collect the wreckage back then. He wrote in his memoir, "Those metal fragments are completely incompatible with humans. The logic of technology. They are both flimsy and tough. Some can even keep their original shape in the flames." He secretly put a small piece of debris into his pocket. "I want to keep it as a memento." But I didn't stay at the base for long. Then a superior officer knocked on his door. "Coldly tell them to hand over the things. You've never seen him." He suddenly understood. Some secrets don't belong to ordinary people. Years later, this officer was in the last moments of his life. I told my family about my experience. That memory is like a brand. I spent my whole life with him. Another witness. I am a young radio host. Back then, he received a notice from the military saying that the falling object is a UFO. He excitedly broadcast the news, but it didn't take more than a few hours. The telephone rang urgently. The other party is a federal agent. The voice is deep and threatening. "Retract the broadcast immediately, otherwise you will face serious consequences." He was so scared that he turned off the program on the spot. Decades later, he still remembers that feeling of fear. What on earth is that? Make the government use its maximum authority to cover up. The most shocking, it's the righteous words of those nurses and doctors. They were temporarily summoned to the base. They said they would deal with the special patients when they pushed open the door of the room, but I saw several tiny corpses. The person is thin and tall. The skull is huge. The eyes look like a pitch-black abyss. At that moment, the air seemed to have frozen. Later, they were asked to sign a non-disclosure agreement. Some people even claim to have been threatened. "If you dare to tell others, it will implicate my family," although it's hard to tell whether these stories are true or not. But as more and more similar positive words emerge, it's hard not to make associations. What exactly happened in that other industry? The military's response is even more confusing and unclear. First, we loudly announced the discovery of a UFO. Less than a day, he quickly changed the topic and said that it was just a weather balloon. This inconsistency not only failed to be resolved, leaving a message actually makes conspiracy theories spread rapidly. Some people say it was an accidental leak. The military blurted out the truth in their panic. Then it was forcibly corrected by the higher-ups. Some people even suspect those military trucks that arrived quickly. What was transported away was not the wreckage at all, but the complete core of an alien spaceship. As time goes by, the Roswell Incident has been constantly reinterpreted, the peak of the Cold War in the 1960s. Many people firmly believe the U.S. government has already obtained extraterrestrial technology. Secrets are applied in the arms race. Computer chip, laser weapon, stealth bomber. The leap in these technologies, the speed is incredibly fast. It feels like we've jumped into the future overnight. So someone suggested these miracles. It is precisely from the debris of Roswell that we reverse engineered the city, although there is no conclusive evidence. But this claim is spreading like wildfire. Even some scientists also admit it. That incident, it may indeed have promoted the leap in human technology. But another voice is also equally loud. The skeptic philosopher points out these witness statements often emerge decades later. The authenticity is hard to guarantee. Some people may be influenced by pop culture, confuse fiction and memory. Some people might fabricate stories just to get attention, especially in Hollywood movies. In best-selling novels, Roswell has been mythologized as an alien event, the synonym of mythology. So here's the question, the truth we believe in. Is it historical fact or collective imagination? However, the more people question it, the more difficult it is to forget Roswell because of the attitude of the U.S. government, always like a layer of fog. Until the 1990s, the military has only belatedly made a public announcement. The so-called investigation report explained that it's for monitoring the Soviet Union's high-altitude balloon for the experiment. But such an explanation not only did not dispel doubts, instead it brings more problems. Why do you want to hide it for several decades? Why did you initially make a statement about UFOs? And those doctors? How do you explain the testimony of the nurse officer? We've entered the 21st century. Roswell has surpassed the incident itself, become a cultural symbol. The tourist shops are filled with alien dolls. The neon sign of the restaurant says, "Aliens are welcome here." The movie Independence Day even mentions Roswell. You are the key to the plot. The clue shocked countless viewers. We can say Roswell. It has shaped humanity's collective imagination about aliens. Like big eyes, gray skin. We may never know the mysterious gaze. This image, is it really from the remains of that night? But he is already. It has been deeply engraved in our cultural memory and in the real world. The mystery has not been solved. In 2017, the U.S. Department of Defense, some pilots' tracking offers were accidentally disclosed. The video of those high-speed flights. An object that doesn't conform to the laws of physics. It has once again sparked public speculation. People say, if there are still these in the sky today. I can't explain it. The existence of the 1947 crash incident. Isn't it more likely to be true? Imagine that. If Roswell really hides aliens. Evidence of the star civilization. So, what does this evidence mean? He may overturn our understanding of the universe, even shake the religion, the foundation of science and politics. Maybe that's why. The government just doesn't dare to reveal the truth, because once we admit the existence of extraterrestrial intelligence, the order of human society may be rewritten in an instant. But think about it from another perspective. If all that, is it really just human self-deception? If the so-called wreckage, the conspiracy of the corpse, is just a mirage under the fear of the Cold War, the significance of Roswell is actually more ironic. He is not a visitor from outer space, but it's a projection of humans' own anxiety. We are afraid of the unknown, so we created aliens and we don't trust authority. Therefore, I firmly believe that the government is lying. Roswell might be a mirror, reflecting our deepest desires and fears. But it's precisely this contradiction. We have achieved the immortality of Roswell. He might be the truth. It might also be a scam. He might be a visitor from another planet. It might also be a human fantasy, whatever explanation you choose to believe in. The mystery itself, it has already become a part of human history. Just because there is no answer. The Roswell incident will be recounted generation after generation and reenacted. When you look up at the night sky tonight, do you ever have such a thought too? In the depths of the endless starry sky, has anyone really been here before? And are you still silently watching us? Maybe the real secret. It's hidden in those voluminous files, waiting to be revealed one day. Before that day comes, Roswell will continue to be a mystery for all of humanity, existing in our imagination and pursuit.